Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for your continued support and your continued engagement with my videos. Um, it does really mean a lot to me. Today or this week, actually, I've booked a whole week off work to do this. I'm not a pro. I learn as I go, and this week we are going to replace both lower and upper front suspension arms as well as the front drop links. So I bought a kit uh, online on eBay. I'll put the link in the description. They're OEM quality parts. The kit looks really good. The bolts look of really good quality. I've bought the Brit part drop links, um, and I'm really excited, looking forward to doing this. It is a big job, and quite unusually for me, I've actually done a bit of prep already. So yesterday afternoon, last night, I jacked the car up already. I then took the wheels, the wheel arches, and the wheel liners out, and then I remembered that I didn't have a paint pen. Now, obviously, for the bolts, you need to mark the geometry on the bolt so that you get your tracking right. I don't have a paint pen, and I'd already taken the wheels off by that point. So what I did have is a little can of orange spray paint left over. So what I've done is I've spray painted the bolts, um, marking the bolt and the chassis. So when I take the old bolts out and I go to put the new bolts in, I can line them up with the shadow of the old bolts, meaning I'll get the geometry about right. I've also ordered a black tin of spray hammerite, and while I'm in there, to quote our German friends, I'm going to spray paint the knuckle, the hub knuckle. I'm going to give it some rust treatment, and also I'm going to take the brake disc off, clean up the rear of the brake disc, and give that a bit of hammerite treatment as well to make sure that that's nice and rust repaired. So hopefully, when everything goes back in, it's going to look absolutely superb. So we're going to crack on. Um, I want to try and avoid taking the drive shafts out if I can. I know it's something that I might not be able to avoid, but it's something I'm looking to try and avoid. So what I am going to do is I'm going to take the bottoms off first, put the bottoms on, and then I'm going to take the tops off and put the tops on, do the drop links, raise the suspension up to normal ride height, and then tighten up. Um, so this is sort of a 3-in-1 video. Uh, so hopefully, if you're only looking to do the fronts, go to the end of the video. If you're looking to do the fronts, sorry. If you're looking to do the tops, go to the end of the video. If you're looking to do the bottoms, stay the front half of the video, and the drop links will be somewhere towards the middle or end. I hope that makes sense. I will only record one side because the other side is going to be exactly the same thing. You don't need to watch it twice. What I will do at the end of the video, I'll just sort of do a debrief and go through what went well, what I learned for next time, and any tips that I've learned along the way. Okay, so let's get out to the car. Like I said, I've spray painted the bolts last night, and I've also pre-lubed them with plus gas. So fingers crossed. There shouldn't be too much violence in this video, but I have also bought 20 carbide coated reciprocating saw blades, so I am ready for a fight if the car chooses to do that. Anyway, see you by the car. Right, welcome back. So as I said in the garage, we're going to do the bottom one first. And the way you do this is you start from the outside and you work in. So I'm going to take the bottom of the hub nut off here, which is located down here. It's a 24mm bolt. Then I'm going to take the bottom of the suspension arm off, and then I'll tackle the 2 bolts at the back. And then once you've whacked it and it's come loose, you pull the wheel towards you, or the rotor towards you, drop the back down, and then lift the arm out. And that's how it works in practice. Let's see. It works in theory. Let's see how it works in practice. I imagine it's going to be a lot of swearing. So I will put you in time lapse mode to save your delicate ears, and we'll crack on. So that was relatively successful, except for the video that I watched. They were able to take the bottom hub joint out without removing the drive shaft. However, looking at mine, there's just no room. So I need to go to Halfords, get a 32mm socket to go over the drive shaft to get that out, and then we'll be away again. So as soon as I'm back with that bit, we'll carry on. Right, so that has taken best part of 3 hours to get the hub nut off. My wife came back from Halfords with 32mm socket, and the hub just would not move. I have tried everything. Eventually, percussive shock. Eventually, I heated it up with a blowtorch and got it glowing, and then it came off. So now the hub's off. I'm going to let it cool down. I'm going to take the brakes off. Pull the hub through. Pull the bit off the hub so I can get the wishbone out at the bottom, and then put the new one back in. So I'm going to have a cup of tea or a glass of orange juice or something while that cools down, because I don't want to burn my hands, and then we'll get back on it. Right, so as I say in all my videos, that was an absolute fight. It was a slog. I've now got the old part off. I had to remove the hub. I've taken the brakes off as well. I've taken the brake discs off because once I've got the upper arm and the lower arm and the track rod in, excuse me, what I'm going to do is I'm going to wire brush the back plate, and I've ordered some hammerite, as I said at the beginning. So hopefully that'll be here, due to arrive today. That'll be here tomorrow, and then we can get that all painted in, and then I put the discs back on. It just gives it that extra layer of protection. I'm gonna spray the knuckle as well. I mean, there's not much rust on it, but you know, it'll look nicer. And then I'll spray over the orange spray paint bits. I will mask up my lovely new shiny bolts though, because I don't want them to get covered in black hammerite. So here we are, and what we're going to do is we're going to get the front bit in first, then get the 2 feet sitting in, and I won't tighten it up until I've done the top one, and then I can set the height to 466 or whatever it is. I'll check, and then I'll tighten it all up to as tight as I can go, really. My torque wrenches top out at 120 Newton meters, which is nowhere near tight enough. So there's FT and then there's EFT on my doing up things tight range. I'll be doing everything up EFT, and then we'll go from there. So I'm going to put it back into time lapse again. I'll highlight any problems that I have, but hopefully that's all my problems out of the way, because I've broken my impact driver. I've got to get a new impact driver. Getting the center hub off was an absolute nightmare. I've broken a screwdriver, and then I had to resort to holding my heat gun on it for 10 minutes to get it absolutely too hot to touch, and then I managed to get that center hub nut off. It's been a fight. It's taken like 3.5 hours just to get the hub off, which is an absolute joke. Anyway, we crack on. So there we have it. Subject to tightening to really tight on the right height, on normal height. That's us done. Bottom one in. Now I'll do the top. I'm really impressed with this kit. It came with the suspension strut bolt, as well as a new hub bolt. So I will be putting the link to this eBay kit in the description, because I got a lot more than I'd anticipated. Anyway, here we go on the top one. I'm going to do exactly the same as I did on the top. I'm going to work from the front out. Right, I'm going to have a little drink first, cool down, because I'm a bit hot, and then we'll crack on, get the top one done. Right, see you in a bit. Right, morning, day two. Day one was quite um, frustrating but positive. I got the bottom arm on, which is really good, which is what I was hoping for. Um, However, to try and get the top arm off, the bolts were just so badly corroded. that they're just disintegrating. I've tried hammering smaller sockets on to try and get some purchase, but just not working. So I've cut the main part of the arm out. I'm going to cut the bolts this morning to get those out, and then relocating the nuts and bolts. I can only imagine is going to be an absolute nightmare, but we'll get there in the end. Yesterday I lost about 3.5 hours trying to get the central hub nut off, so hopefully I won't have that big a delay with anything today. The kit, like I said earlier, I'm really, really impressed. Everything, all new bolts, even bolts that I wasn't expecting, and a new central hub nut. So can't complain at that. Right, so we're going to go into time lapse mode, and it's going to be just me cutting out the last two bolts on the top arm before we sort of catch up in a bit. Well, day two is starting as I hope it carries on. The first bolt is out, and it only took 4 saw blades. Oh, there we go. So the bushing and the hub was actually all right. It's just the bolt was so badly corroded. The bolt was so badly corroded, I just couldn't get a nut on it. So onto the second bolt, and then I'll have a little tidy up, a little clean up, and yeah, set it to the right height. Right, let's crack on. Well, that was a major result. I just before I got the blade on, I was just trying to line up how I was going to get it in. I thought to myself, that second nut doesn't look that bad. So I got my 22mm spanner on it, and then started with my bad day hammer hitting down to try and shock the nut loose, and it just wasn't going. So then I got the Allen key, put my new blade on, and realised that when I was tightening the blade in, I was turning the Allen key in the opposite direction I was just hitting. So I started hitting up instead of down, and the nut came loose. So I've managed to get the second bushing on the top one out without any cutting, which is great news. So now I'm going to tidy up, clean up the wheel arch, and start installing the new arm. Bosh! Right, so I've cleaned up, I've got my brush in there, cleaned it all up, blown it all away, nice and clean and tidy in there now. I've just sprayed the back of the brackets where the bushings sit with a bit of WD-40, have myself a cup of tea, and let that sort of go a little bit tacky and a little bit hard to act as a bit of a preservative. What I think I'm going to do now is I'm going to do put the bolt in that's nearest the suspension strut first. I'm going to force my arm through the pipes and just get it sitting in the hole, put the arm in, push it through, and then tighten the nut up. I think what I have to do to get some real power on it later is get a socket on an extension around the back, and then really tighten it with my 22 spanner on the inside. But we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. But that's what we're going to do. I'm going to be bear hugging the strut, put that in, and then like we did with the lower, start at the back, work forwards, and then get everything in. Anyway, right, back into time lapse mode. Right, so that's in now. It was a bit of a fight. I had a bit of a mental breakdown thinking that the part didn't fit. Sent a really embarrassing email, which I've now had to email again and say, please ignore, to the eBay seller. It is a quality part. Like I said all along this video, I can't fault this kit, just my workmanship. Anyway, here's a top tip. If you're trying to get your uh, upper front arm in and it's not quite going, it doesn't seem to be enough space and it's hitting, undo all the heat shields and just push them back half an inch, and it gives you so much more room. The arm then drops straight into place, and with the extra room around the back of the strut, it's so easy getting my hand around and putting the bolt through as well. Just look at the results. So there you go. Top tip: undo the heat shields, and you'll get loads more room, and it's a much easier job. Right, so now I will go into time-lapse mode and I'll get it all put together, get it to normal ride height, and then do all the bolts up. Right, so the top arm is all loosely bolted in now. I've put all the brake lines back in, and I've reattached the height sensor. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put my new drop link in, before I tighten, while it's all quite easy to move around, before I tighten everything up. It would just make my life a little bit easier, I think. So we're going to do that now. Right, so that is everything done now, on the driver's side. let me just show you what's happened. I do apologise, I was unable to film me setting the height to 466 and doing up all the bolts because I needed to use my phone. It's the only thing I record on, to link to my gap IID tool to release the pressure in the strut, which is another very important lesson that I learned as I nearly had to put my brown trousers on. Never ever deflate all when your nose is on stands, because the car ends up doing like a wheelie while you're in it, and it's bump inchy time. Anyway, I've done up all the bolts. They're all up very, very tight. And there's the finished product. Bottom arm, new sway bar, top arm, all of the bits are done. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just waiting for Amazon to deliver the hammerite and the brake disc backing plate that would be here. I'm rubbing down and then respraying to make it look a little bit better. And as the paint was starting to peel and it's starting to look flaky, but it's just starting to rain here in sunny Crawley, so I'm going to pack up for the day. Probably do the spray painting this evening once the paint arrives, and then crack on the near side tomorrow. Right, so it's day 3. It's been a really rainy day today, but what I have managed to do is I've managed to go out and I've now got both disc brake backs off the car. What I'm going to do now, while it's rainy, is I'm going to use my trusty wire brush all the loose and surface rust off the disc brake backs. Give it a little clean with white spirit, make sure that all oil residue and everything is off, and then I've ordered and had delivered some hammerite metal paint, just in black, and I've set up a little spray booth in the garage to spray the discs so they look really nice. If I've got any left over, I'll also go and spray paint the knuckles on the hubs, so that looks quite nice. But that's what I'm going to do today because it's been rainy. So time lapse mode. Whoosh! Right, so day 4. Here we go. Hopefully the last day. I've come into the garage. The brake disc backing plates look quality, so very happy with that. They're ready to go on now. I've done the school run, and now I've put all my plus gas on this morning, so hopefully that's capillaried down. I'm just going to get on, do the passenger side lower again, exactly the same as I did last time. I'm going to start from the front and work back, put the lower on, attach it loosely, take the upper on, take the upper off, attach it loosely, set it, and then do it up tight. Then I put the disc brakes back together, wheels on, and enjoy seamless Land Rover driving. So without further ado, let's get out there. So I've done it all now. I've got the both arms on, upper and lower, on both drivers and passenger side. I've just put the refurbished disc brake backs on, and they look so much better. Have a look at this. Tell me what you think in the comments. So much better. Right, let me get the discs on, the wheels on, and see if I've got my tracking right. Right, guys, that's the end of the video for today. I hope you found this helpful. Um, Probably the biggest takeaways from this job that I learned, which I've noticed aren't on any of the other videos that I've watched about doing this job, is to undo the heat shields when you're locating the top suspension arms. I've had to do that on both sides, so that is my number one top tip. Um, it was, yeah, it took me 4 days. I think if you really put your mind to it, I was doing sort of half days, and plus when you're taking videos, it takes a little bit longer. I think you probably could do it in 2 or 3 days. Obviously, I had a day off yesterday with just doing the spray painting. Um, but I hope you found this helpful. Please do write any comments. The test drive I've just been on just made me so happy. Every time I went over a bump, every time I went over a speed bump or a pothole, there was a big metallic dunk in the car. That is totally gone now. I went over some speed bumps, I went over some potholes, I went down a few country lanes, uh, gave it some left and right on the steering. The suspension was uh, unbelievably good, not a creak or a knock, um, absolutely silent when going over bumps. I've put the links to everything that I used in this job. The kits from AI suspension, unbelievable. I cannot recommend them enough. Um, it's really well made. The customer service is unbelievable. When I had an issue, they got back to me. It was they're a dream to work with. So I can't recommend them enough. I'll put the link to the blades that I used on the reciprocating saw, um, and I'll put the links to the drop links as well, which I used, which were the Brit Part ones, um, and obviously the Hammerite. Please do comment, please do like, please do subscribe. If you've noticed something that I've done wrong, or there's something you thought I could do better, please let me know. I am still learning. Thanks for watching, and the next one is going to be replacement of the third brake light at the top. See ya.